Hello, welcome. We are back. It's been a while because we've been focusing on the tournament, obviously, but that was a good fun experience. It was nice to involve the pod in that as well. Some great live interviews with the managers. I thought really went really well. But we are back, and as you can tell by the attire, we are going with a Christmas pod because Christmas is only around the corner. I mean, it felt like only last week that COVID was being announced back in March, and now it's Christmas. Not quite sure how that happened or where the last 6 months have gone, but we're here and we're going to celebrate it, and we're just going to talk all things Christmas. I'm here with my fellow founder Sam and our special guest Jamie. How are you, boys?
Yeah, good. Not too bad. Yeah, not bad, thanks.
Nice. I'm enjoying the shirt there, Sam. It's a cracking one.
It's a naughty little number. Purchased it a couple of years ago for about a tenner on some dodgy Instagram sites. The material, I can only describe it as like the texture of, I don't know, monkey jizz or something. It's horrible. It's a talking point. And you boys know me. I like a bit of garish garments.
Yeah.
It does look a little tight on you.
I mean, yes, it's made for 13-year-old Filipino children, but I've wrapped myself in it, and we're going to have a fantastic pod.
It's a special shirt. So whilst we're talking to you, Sam, then just a bit of serious chat.
Yeah.
You have been through the Rona recently. You're still going through the Rona. So just for our viewers out there, just a little bit of insight into what life actually is like when you have Rona.
Well, I got a positive result back. When was it? Last Thursday. So what was that? 9 days ago, started feeling rough sort of on the Tuesday. A couple of days after we moved house, hence the background change. YouTube money coming in clutch. We moved in, and we got a few people to help us. So Molly's family, my family, and Molly's sister works as a dietitian. I think she's a dietetic nurse on a ward in the Newport Gwent Hospital, and they got some surge of COVID a few weeks ago. She got it on to all of us. So been COVID land for the last couple of weeks. First sort of 5 to 6 days, horrible. Probably the worst flu you could probably have. It felt like someone was sat in your chest, punching you in the face. It was horrible. I was probably bedbound for about 3 days, which is, again, lucky, to be fair, because the amount of people dying of it, and I can certainly see how so many people die of it. And then I think the main symptoms were sort of, I never really got like a consistent cough, but I got quite a chesty cough. Complete loss of taste and smell, which it just affects your appetite. Like, I don't want to eat anything. It's because what's the point? I can't taste it. So you just eat it just for the sake of it. And even though my taste back now, my appetite's still not back. So I'm just sort of eating like 1 or 2 meals a day, if that. No smell, still no smell, which is not a bad thing. The headaches were one of the worst things, which don't get mentioned massively. It just felt like I could describe it as like a hummingbird just in your brain, non-stop.
Yeah,
that was pretty awful. But considering that after 12 days of having symptoms, I feel fine. Is quite lucky, to be honest. And I think the longest sort of effect of it is just the tiredness, just the fatigue. For like a few days after I started being like able to get out of bed, just walking up the stairs took about 5 minutes to get your breath back. Even now, I'm sleeping a lot more than I ever have done. But I mean, I've got it so mild compared to what people could have it. It's horrendous, but I'm glad that everyone I know seems to be all right with it. I think we passed on to about 10 family members. None of them, the oldest one, 54, so we managed to keep it away from the wrinklies, which was a good thing. But we're all right. We're fine.
Decent. That's nice to hear. It's good. For all those doubters out there, it definitely is real.
Yeah,
And get the vaccine because it's fucking just get it, Anyway, that's nice to hear. Let's move on to some cheerier subjects of Christmas. How much do we love Christmas then?
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it.
No.
No, my dad's never really been massively into it, and you've all met my dad. He's quite a strong character. He's never owned a Christmas tree. And I don't know, for me, it's just like, obviously it's nice seeing family and like the Christmas like dinner and all that sort of stuff's fantastic. But you just get to a point where like I just want to sit down, have a beer, and watch some like Gavin and Stacey like repeats. But I've got quite a young family, and they're just like doing like Christmas quizzes and having to like get Christmas toys out of jelly with your mouth, and I was like, just leave it, just leave it. I've never got the whole thing of waking up at like 4 a.m. to open your presents. What's the point? It's going to be there in 4 hours when you should be waking up. But I mean, I'm just a Scrooge, I think.
Well, on the flip side of that, I was the sort of child I'd get up early, really excited for presents. Was that because I'm just materialistic and I like presents? Maybe. My family. I feel like Christmas causes more drama than it actually does bring the family closer together in my household, because it's always like one thing after another. But I do enjoy Christmas. I do like the whole festive kind of feel, the Christmas dinner, like the Christmas songs on, sort of like that. So I like Christmas. It's up there for me. But yeah, family. I think anything with family, when you're forced into a room together and forced to socialise together, it's going to cause arguments. So.
Yeah, I have to say, same as Jamie there. From the 1st of January to the 30th of November, I'm a miserable bastard. But as soon as the 1st of December hits, I absolutely love it. I love playing the music. I love wearing the jumpers. I love getting all the food and the presents in. Don't like wrapping. That's the missus's job. But I'll buy them. I'll happily buy them.
I get boxes. Boxes solve it.
Exactly.
Just show the best on it.
Easy. But yeah, I do enjoy a good Christmas. But also, like Jamie said, family can be quite boring. So I'm sort of glad that we're at that age now where we're sort of starting to move out. Some of us have moved out, obviously. And it's just nice to create your own sort of traditions now and not have to be forced into that family. Like, because I obviously work every day of the year anyway. There's no like set days off for me, so I'm working Christmas anyway. So I'll be working early. I'll finish at 1 and run out. Then I've only got the afternoon to suffer with my family, and then I got Boxing Day off, so I'll just have that to myself and me and Sarah, obviously. So I think that's quite nice now, where it's not forced upon you. You have to sit there and play games with family, because I can't stand that part of it. But the rest of it, I do enjoy.
Yeah, like going back and like moving out. Last year was like the first time I had like a serious relationship at Christmas, and obviously both families wanted to see us. So I spent the morning with my family, and then had Christmas dinner with them, and then drove to Molly's and had Christmas dinner there as well. So I had 2 dinners last year. That was
pulled a Smithy.
I pulled a Smithy. I did, but like it just meant like I couldn't. Like drinking's not a huge thing, but it just meant like I had to sort of be like careful with it. Like one with dinner, and that was about it. And this year, because it's the first time moving out, we then got to drive to my family, because I've got like a 9-year-old sister, so she's excited Christmas morning. Got to drive there for the morning, and then when they settle down for lunch, then I'll go back to Molly's, and it's just, like for me, it's just logistical. I'm not a fan of Christmas, but then, I do like seeing family. And for me, I think the build up to Christmas is just like, I don't know. I like it when I'm in it. Like Christmas Day, when I'm in it, I'm like, yeah, I can be excited now.
Yeah.
See everything faces lovely, jubbly. But like, there's 8 weeks beforehand where you got like, have you started Christmas shopping yet? No, I don't like spending money. So no, I haven't started. Why is Christmas playing in September?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? Like advent calendars on sale in July. Fucking stop. There's a time. I'm just boring, I think.
Now, with the logistical part of Christmas, like you just said, Sam, right? So this is my third Christmas being in a serious relationship. And the first two, I went to go see Emily at her family's for a couple hours. And then the year after, she came here for a couple hours. And then this is the year that we've gone, right, we're going to spend Christmas together. But now it turns into you've then got to balance both the families. And because we've had to talk about what we're doing this Christmas, we had to talk about what we're doing next Christmas at the same time. So I already can tell you what we're doing next Christmas and logistical, what hour we're going to leave and all this sort of stuff. And it's just a continuous nightmare. So I'm spending Christmas Day here with Emily and my family. And then from Boxing Day onwards, we're going to be at Emily's house up until New Year's. And then we're going to come back here. So it's juggling everything.
Not too bad.
Christmas is tricky. It's one of those where it sort of sucks you in and makes you feel guilty if you don't see your family. Like, I see my family all year. I can go around whenever I want. They only live 10 minutes, 15 minutes down the road. But on that one day, the 25th of December, if I don't see them, I feel like, fuck, I'm not seeing my family.
Yeah.
As much as I want to just come in from work and just chill here all day, watch films, eat a load of food, I feel like, no, I've got to go see my family because it's Christmas Day. But it's just weird how that's a culture that's been created. And I get it, and I'm on board with it, but it's just strange that you do feel guilty if you don't go and see your family on Christmas Day.
Yeah, especially for someone like me. I live with my parents.
Yeah.
I see them every single day of my life. But if I don't come and see them on that one day, then like you get like a lot of shit for it.
Yeah,
So
it's mental.
I just got a text from Molly saying I'm being too miserable. So yeah, I love it. My favourite bit is the matching pajamas that families wear.
Yes.
Santa can't see you in old pajamas. You got you have to. No, I hate it. As much as like Molly's family are fantastic, they are so into Christmas. Her dad is like so into Christmas, which is lovely to be around. But yeah, like having to wear matching pajamas. We're colour coding their outfits for Christmas Day. I have to be involved in that. We're doing green this year.
Yeah, I don't know if you boys saw like I posted an Instagram pic on Christmas Day last year because Emily came round. Emily turned up really nice because that's what her family does. They dress up really nicely and that's what they wear for Christmas Day. I was stood there with an AC Milan shirt on, Chelsea shorts, and a chef's hat. And that's how I posed in my picture because that's what my family does. We don't dress up or anything. And then like now I know I'm like, I have to make sure that I'm gonna dress really nicely whenever I go around Emily's for Christmas period because that's just what they're like.
I'm exactly the same. Like, last year, Molly and her family were like high heels, like cocktail dresses, all this sort of stuff. I rocked up like this, and I was like, well, obviously they welcomed me in, but it was a bit ropey. But yeah,
they're looking at Molly thinking, what are you thinking there?
They thought that when I first met, but yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it. Like my perfect Christmas would just be, obviously I have your smashing dinner. I have a couple of like card games, maybe a board game, but I don't mind charades on Christmas Day. Your nan not knowing what words mean, that's funny, and then just chill out in the evening with a beer and watch a few Christmas things. That's my perfect Christmas. It's just the whole faff around it, where like having to dress up and all that sort of stuff, but it's Christmas. You got to love it.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned dinner there, so let's. What goes on your plate on Christmas Day?
Well, my opinions change because Emily's quite a good cook, so she cooks a lot of roasts and stuff like that, and so I've got into, I would say, different things because of it. So lots of roast potatoes, lots of turkey. I'm a big like carb and protein, massively put it up. Veg, broccoli. I'm not massively big on carrots, but I will have them. Pigs and blankets is like 100%. That's like the guarantee that's got to be on there. Cauliflower and cheese. And depending on how much room I've got left, I'll pick one or two other things around.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, I think stuffing is probably like the lowest, but that's still it's got its own place in the plate, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of sprouts. You
Yeah.
can't have sprouts. Me and my cousin used to have like sprout eating contests, like who can eat the most sprouts. Honey glazed carrots are just.
Oh yes, I've had them. Yeah.
You don't never have them.
Oh, mate, this Christmas is your year.
Okay, I'll look into it.
You got to do your potatoes and goose fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god. Pigs and blankets, like you said, absolute staple. But for me, I think the best thing on a Christmas plate is cauliflower cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go for a roast any time of the year and cauliflower cheese is there, you know you're in for a good time. And Christmas dinner is just echelon.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got into sort of having a 3-bird roast on Christmas Day, because it means you get a bit of bacon, which is class, as of course, but it's got stuffing in it usually, so you ain't got to worry about then getting stuff in. Like you say, it's quite low on the options, but it's just there then. It's part of your meat. You just eat it as you're going along. But yeah, cauliflower cheese is elite tier.
Yeah.
We've got this thing from Lidl this year. It's sprouts and bacon and like melted cheese on top. I cannot wait to get into it. Absolutely get into that. And we also got a bit of red cabbage this year, which I don't mind. I wouldn't have it on a normal roast, but at a carvery or Christmas, I would have it. It's one of those.
See, I don't do cabbage. Sets me like the S off.
I mean, the cauliflower cheese sets me off, but I ain't fucking not having cauliflower cheese.
I'm probably done through to New Year if I have cabbage. But if you have them, I'm a huge fan of the Christmas dinner.
Do we like?
We're swimming in gravy as well.
Thick or runny?
What time normally is your Christmas dinner?
Huh?
What time normally is your Christmas dinner?
Ooh,
this is a big thing. Families have it at different times.
Yeah, ours is because of my nan and her diabetes. Sorry, we have ours at 12. Sort of quite strict on the dot because she's got to have her injection just before.
Yeah.
And yeah, she usually comes straight from church, or we pick her up straight from church because she's Christian. She used to be my granddad, but it's not anymore. But yeah, so we have it literally at 12 usually. That's why I said before I started, working life, we'd have it at 12. But now I have it when I finish work, which is usually 1, 2 o'clock.
Normally for our household, because it's all such a big fuss, and Mandy is normally the person who does all the cooking. Like, she says she wants help, but she doesn't really want help. So she ends up doing everything, and then we normally eat Christmas dinner or lunch about 2:30, 3 o'clock. So it's quite late for us.
See, we're normally about 1:30, and then sort of like have just sort of like cold meats and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas Molly's is about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Hence why I did do a snippy Christmas last year. But yeah, for me, I don't mind whenever we do it. Like, I think obviously anywhere between 12 and 4, you've got to have your main meal of the day. And then the best thing is the evening meat, like cold meat selection.
Yeah.
Just crackers and cheese, bit of like beef or leftover turkey, a glass of port. That's Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
we the buffet meal.
Yeah, I have always preferred Boxing Day to Christmas Day because that's when you get the leftovers. That's when you're monging out from Christmas Day, from a busy Christmas Day, seeing family all day, and Boxing Day is just that time to just lie on the sofa, pick at things, not worry about the calories you're eating because they don't count at Christmas.
They do.
Just drink. My dad usually gets one of those mini barrels that you get. It's got like 8 pints in it. Usually a Bath Ales thing. Bit of gem, so we usually make our way through that, and then get on the spirits in the evening, basically.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, stick the football on during the day.
Oh yeah, put the bets on. Boxing Day bets are always a thing.
Yeah. See, for me, it's different because obviously basketball, the NBA normally have Christmas Day games. Yeah. So from I think it's normally from about 5:30 onwards up till maybe like 4 o'clock in the morning, there is just basketball continuously. So majority of my time will be after I'll pick some stuff at the buffet meal and then I'll go and sit in front of the TV and then that's me sorted then. I'll sit in that chair and just drink.
Nice.
Just most weekends, you know.
Yeah, it is really in some ways.
It's in a Christmas jumper.
Right, so obviously, I know Sam, you said that your dad wasn't much of a Christmas person, but let's see if we can talk about sort of Christmas memories, childhood traditions, anything like that that we can remember before we start creating our own traditions in the next
Yeah,
five years.
when I was a kid, like I've got my cousin who's 2 months older than me,
Yeah.
and then my sister's 2 years older than me, and then another cousin's like 10 days older than my sister. So we've got like 4 cousins within about 2 years age gap.
Yeah.
So obviously we'd have our own sort of Christmas day, and then on Boxing Day we'd always used to go to my grandparents. They live on like an old farm out in the countryside, and like all the family used to go, like sort of 15 to 20 people every single year, have a big slap at meal, and just sort of like play games and all sorts of stuff. And when you're a kid, sort of like when you're 10 years old, that was amazing. Playing with your older cousins, like messing around with your uncle, like it was brilliant. So like for me, like Percy said, Boxing Day's always been my favourite time of the Christmas period. Just because I always used to go up there, run around the fields, and my grandma invented this game called Hide the Thimble, where you would just have a thimble hiding around the house. Hours of fun that was. But yeah, just for me, Boxing Day was like it's my dad's side of the family we used to do it with. So yeah, and we stopped doing that when we sort of hit about 16, 17 maybe, just because like we're old enough to sort of just crack on and do it ourselves. But yeah, I think between the ages of like 4 and 14, that sort of like 10-year period, Boxing Day was just amazing.
Yeah, I think Boxing Day was probably my first experiences of drinking as well, like sort of underage drinking. But obviously, with families don't really matter. But so Christmas Day used to be mum's side of the family. Like I said, my nan, my granddad would come straight round after church. Her 2 sisters would come round, so my aunties. We'd have Christmas at dinner at 12. We'd sort of wash up. After dinner mints, I don't really get involved in that. I don't like mint chocolate, but after dinner mints, cup of tea, and then we sit down and open our presents. And I used to absolutely love that part because, as a kid, you make a huge list, and you're not going to get everything. So it's like, what are you going to get? And it's really exciting. And me nan and granddad usually would get me the DVD or the games. That would be their sort of area. My mum would get me pretty much most everything else, and then my auntie usually made up her own sort of presents. She usually get the classic Christmas games that you get in M&S when they come out on the little stand in the middle. She'd give me that sort of stuff, and then we'd just play those games basically for the rest of the afternoon, and we'd have a buffet dinner, like sort of party food, and then they go about. I mean, we didn't really drink on Christmas Day because they were obviously Christians, quite heavily Christian. So they go about 8 in the evening, and we just crash them because, especially my mum, she'd been up since fucking 5 in the morning, sorting us out, and then cooking dinner, and then opening presents. So my mum would be gone on the sofa usually by about 8:30, 9, and then Boxing Day would be my dad's side of the family, which they're a bit more wild, a bit more. You got boys. And then so yeah, we usually go around my uncle's because he got a massive house. And a huge garage as well. And then my granddad or him would bring a massive barrel of proper scrumpy cider. I remember starting that at about 14. My days. That is some. When you're 14, that is some serious stuff. Proper scrumpy cider. Oh my god. But yeah, my uncle was a chef as well, so like the cold meats, and he'd do some insane stuff. And we just pile into that, and then we put final score on basically about 4 or 5 o'clock. Watch the scores come in. City usually losing, but fun day anyway.
Boxing Day for me has always been a bit different because normally Mandy's like up and round to go. We're going into town for the Boxing Day sales.
Fuck that.
I know, and like so the past. There's like from the age of like I'd say 16 until I most likely was like 18. It was like a non-negotiable. I had to go. But then I hit like 18, 19. And then I was just like, I don't want to go in. Like, I'm hungover. I don't want to go into the sales. So yeah, that was my Boxing Day for the longest time. But in recent years now, it's been very much I'll just chill really. I might go to the gym depending on how I feel, and then just kind of just chill for the rest of the day.
Yeah. let's get into some ranking then. In true Bicky podcast style.
Oh, before we do,
Yeah.
just remembered Boxing Day rugby local clubs.
Yeah, we never did that. I'm really gutted. We never had to do that. Because I'd love to have done that.
Yeah, but both the clubs I've been involved in have always done like past be present. So like you get like the current sort of first team against like the old boys plus a couple of youth players. And there'd be people like sellotaping Santa hats to their heads and playing and stuff. It was a proper good laugh. Never really competitive, but after you run off your turkey from the day before, it normally picks up about 11:30, so it was an early one.
Yeah.
Then you're in the clubhouse by 1, having a few festive drinks, and you stumble home. So yeah, that was I used to love that. The first Christmas I spent up here, up in Wales, playing the past be present. I was 16, 17 maybe. Had the best game of my life. I don't know why I chose that day to have a cracker, but it got man of the match, and the man of the match is like a yard.
Yeah.
So I was like buzzing, like that's me sorted for the day. I'm only 17, not really drunk a lot. It's gonna be amazing. My mum put a stop to it. Club captain stood up and went, there's young lads, he's had an absolutely amazing, game today. Man of the match, Sam. Everyone cheering. My mum went up to him and said, "Not happening." Embarrassed me in front of the entire club. And one of the older boys had to do it. But yeah, I'll never forgive him for that. I was like, I just put performance out on the pitch. I'm now going to get a reputation for being a drinker in the bar, and you ruined it. But
you've never let it down since.
No, never seen me the same again. And yeah, like down in Devon, there's again similar sort of thing down at Ivy Bridge. I've never actually been fortunate enough to play. Like my dad, my brother, my cousin always used to get involved. But I've always either been up here or too young to play or whatever. So yeah, it's quite often like sons play with dads on Boxing Day and stuff. So I think just a general vibe around rugby club on Boxing Days is pretty special. So yeah, just thought I'd get it in there.
Yeah, my club's never done that, and I'm gutted for it. I'd love to be involved in something like that.
Yeah, it's good.
But I've still got 15 years left of playing, so hopefully at some point I can be involved. Yeah, so let's go. What should we go with? Well, let's go with films. We haven't mentioned films and TV at the moment. So there are obviously some classics. We tend to watch certainly my top one every single year because we usually have our Christmas Day like early because we both work.
Yeah.
So it's usually like between the 20th and 25th whenever we've got a day off. So this year it's next Sunday, which is the 20th. And that's when we watch our number one film, which we'll get to. So let's go with top 5 Christmas films.
A rogue one, which my brother was a big fan of, Nightmare Before Christmas from Tim Burton.
Yeah, I don't know.
For me, that's why it's probably my 5th, because we watch it every single year, and so it's a good little watch, but I mean, I wouldn't be upset if I don't watch it, but it's just something we do as a family, so I'd probably stick that one at 5.
My family's, we're not a very big Christmas Eve film watching kind of people, but one I reckon that we normally do sit down is the original Santa Claus. The one that was what year? It came out like the 90s or something like that. But we'll sit down there, like if it's on TV, we'll watch it, sort of thing. But my family's never been really into sitting down and watching the movies. We'll always see what's on TV.
Yeah, fair. My number 5 then is Muppets Christmas Carol.
Classic.
Used to be our Christmas Eve film. Obviously now it's changed with working and moving out. But yeah, it used to be our Christmas Eve film. I absolutely loved that film. It's just quality. It's just feel good, isn't it? It's the Christmas story. It's just a feel good film.
Yeah. What else? I'm someone who believes Die Hard is a Christmas film.
Oh yeah.
You got to stick that on at some point over the Christmas period.
Yeah.
Why is of course a Christmas film? It's set at a Christmas party.
Yeah.
A Christmas film. Die Hard was a good little watch.
Yeah. My number 4 probably be Home Alone.
Yeah.
It's just, again, it's one of those. There's no like real story to it. It's just you just watch it. I only watch it for the fucking booby traps because they're just quality. Like, fucking 8-year-old kid has ruined these two adults. And it's just funny because most of the things that happen to them, obviously I know it's obviously film, but if some of those things actually happen in real life, you'd fucking die. Like, one of them has their head like on fire, and like it's hatched. I'm like, mate, no, you're not carrying on after that. You're gone.
It's what you've got.
Yeah, you're gone. You're done. But yeah, I love Home Alone. It's a good film.
That's another point. In Home Alone 2,
yeah,
they fall off the roof and then bricks fall onto them from the roof.
yeah.
Take it off.
Yeah. Just carry on. The beauty of film.
Brush it off.
Yeah. Home Alone 1 and 2 are fantastic. The third one is a shambles.
Yeah.
It's ruined the entire trilogy.
Yeah, definitely.
Macaulay Culkin is the only Kevin McAllister.
Yeah.
And that's it. Number 3. Ooh, I know what number 1 is. I'm just going to work out 3 and 2.
Oh, my number 1's been my number 1 for ever.
Yeah.
I'm interested because in my mind I can't think because I just don't watch the Christmas films. So I'm trying to think what Christmas films would you have as number 1?
I'll probably stick the Grinch at number 3.
I stick that. Grinch at 3 for me as well.
Jim Carrey as a Grinch.
Yeah, definitely the Jim Carrey one, not this fucking new animated one.
No. Yeah. Nah, the Grinch is just that big classic. Cindy Lou Who. I can't put a foot wrong with that film.
Yeah.
Again, it's one way you can sort of stick it in the background, sort of dip in and out, or you can sit down and solidly watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
You can it both ways.
Yeah. I suppose number 2 for me then is probably my partner's favourite. It's Jack Frost.
Nice.
He does love that one. It's a bit emotional actually for a Christmas film. Yeah, obviously it's about his dad dying. So it's quite emotional. But
spoilers alert.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, but no, it's again one of those feel-good films. Just one that, again, unbelievable. A fucking snowman comes alive, but only at Christmas. Only at Christmas can that happen, and you just accept it.
Only at Christmas. Talking of snowmen, I like The Snowman.
I've not really seen that much.
With Alan Jones and his beautiful tones.
Yeah, obviously we all know the song, but yeah.
That's not the number 2, but I just thought it's all The Snowman.
Well, there's definitely. So before we get to number 1, have you said your number 2? Have you got number 2?
I can't be asked. I'll put that on number 2.
Yeah, cool. So we'll just make notable mentions to other films before we get to our number 1. Hopefully we don't say my number 1 during that. What other films? Fucking hell, I actually can't think now.
We didn't prep for this bit, to be honest. We thought we'd come on here, waffle for a little bit. I wasn't expecting a top 5 Christmas movie selection.
Oh, there's more top 5 coming.
I'll do a quick Google, see what comes up, see what we talk about. Christmas films. This is so big.
Oh, Polar Express. That's always. That's
Polar Express.
One.
Oh, no, I'm not about that.
No, it's quite long-winded.
Yeah, it is a bit.
But it is, Tom Hanks, who's a legend.
Nativity.
Oh, I do like Nativity, actually.
Big
I like Martin Freeman. Yeah.
Yeah. What else is there? Love Actually.
We'll leave that one a minute.
I think it's
The Holiday. That's a nice fun film.
Oh, that one. Yeah, it's a nice one, but it's so cheesy. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah. It's not like you can't have a Christmas film about it being like horrendous.
Bit of cheese. We'll get on to cheese later.
John Cena was in. That was an odd one.
Oh, I don't know actually.
I can give it a quick Google.
Is it Daddy's Home?
Huh?
Was it Daddy's Home? Is that the one?
Oh, it could be.
With Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, that might not be a Christmas film.
I think the second one is because they end up singing a Christmas song because they get stranded in there's a storm on.
Yes, That's what I'm thinking of.
And John Cena starts singing. He thinks he's an Aardman, but he starts singing in the end. And yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah. Well, number one then, as we've just found out, for me is Love Actually. It is an incredible film.
Yeah.
It's one of those, no real story to it, but it's got so many huge actors in it, and you just get involved in all of the characters, and you just like fucking Alan Rickman's in it, who's obviously one of my all-time favourites. He's a prick in it because he cheats, but I love him. Hugh Grant's in it, and with that hilarious scene where he's dancing in because he's just become Prime Minister.
Yeah.
That's always a good one.
Liam Neeson's in there as well.
Neeson's in it, yeah, not being an hard man for once. Martin McCutcheon, obviously, who in that film I would.
Yeah. Thinking, yeah.
There's loads. Emma hey?
Is Keira Knightley in that one?
Keira Knightley's in it. Emma Thompson's in it. Fucking, there's loads of people. It's just a feel good film. Just, yeah, and it's funny as well.
Yeah.
So that's my number one.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised my one's not been in your top 5 yet, Percy.
Yeah.
Mine's Elf.
Yeah, we watched that the other day. Yeah, no.
There's a laugh a minute with Elf. It's just an absolute classic.
Yeah, we watched it the other day and it is hilarious. But just, I mean, yeah, my other 5, I just prefer. That's all. It'd be 6, obviously.
Yeah, one of Will Ferrell's finest moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is
I
quality.
think it was the right decision to because there's been so many rumours that he would make an Elf 2, and he's always said he wouldn't do it. Because I think it would just ruin it if he did.
Yeah.
So yeah, Elf number 1.
I like that. Got time for that. Right then, I don't want to do too much more, so I've got wary of time. But
we'll do like top presents, like top 3 presents or memory presents kind of thing.
All right, top 3 presents we've ever had that we can remember.
I've got one off the bat.
Yeah.
For me, so one memory I really remember. I wouldn't say it's most likely a top gift, but the memory behind it. So this is when I think my brother just turned 12 and I was 10, and he got a mobile phone on Christmas, which obviously to like kids is like, oh my god, you got a mobile phone. And for the whole entire year, I asked to have one. And like my parents were saying, no, you're still too young. Chris didn't have it till he was 12 and all this sort of stuff. And then it gets to Christmas Day, and my parents had hid Chris's phone inside one of the stockings, and they rang the phone, and Chris went to it and then realised it was his phone. So on that Christmas morning I came down, I checked all the stockings, and like there was no phone there. And I was like, oh crap, they haven't got me one. And then I can see my dad off to the side smirking to himself. He pushes like his phone next to him, and then it starts ringing from behind the bookcase. I had to pull all the books out to go and get my phone.
Nice. That's a cool story. I think my greatest ever present was probably my PS2, because it's still the greatest ever console that's ever been created.
Yeah.
And I put some serious hours into playing that. I think I played it the rest of Christmas Day when I got it, after dinner. Played it all the Boxing Day that year, played it all the 27th, 28th, until I went back to school, basically. I was ragging the PS2. I loved it. It's sad, because I was trying to think of a non-technological present, but that's just the one that sticks in your mind, isn't it, those ones?
Yeah, for me, I'm a weird one, because my birthday's 20 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
So most of my, like, big gifts are their birthday/Christmas. And I either get it on my birthday for Christmas, if I'm old enough, or I get it on Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think about 8 years old, I got a PS2 as well for my birthday/Christmas. That was a big one.
Yeah.
I really, I don't actually remember getting, obviously I got presents, but I don't remember them. I've never really
it's a
been
tricky
focused
one.
on Christmas the presents.
I think a big one for us is when we got our ping pong table. That was a big, it was all wrapped up and had a big bow. That was a bit one that stood out in my memory, sort of as a present. But then the rest of them, I wouldn't at the time you get those presents and you need those presents, but then as you kind of you grow in life, you just forget about them, don't you? Because you don't need them as much.
Yeah.
I think recently one I got the USA rugby top. I I enjoyed that.
I mean, it's fair. Sarah's parents usually get me the latest Bristol rugby top each year, and obviously at the moment they're elite rugby tops, so I do enjoy getting those. But yeah, it's quite sad, really. Yeah, it's just the clothes. I do enjoy the ones that I haven't asked for, and that people go out of their way to think about what. That's the presents I buy for people. I like thinking out of the box of what to get them. So I like those sort of presents. Like not the obvious. Oh, here's a DVD, here's a book. Like really think about me and who I am and what can you get me.
Emily's really good with that. She's like top tier in thinking of presents, and then like you never asked for it, and then you think, why did I never ask for it? I obviously blatantly need this.
Yeah.
But she's really good at thinking of all of that stuff. So anytime we do family gifts, I go to her. It's like, oh, what do you think we should get them?
Yeah,
I got a Pokemon card folder one year.
Nice.
Do you know where it is?
It was lost in the move.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It's a real bugbear of mine because obviously because of lockdown, everyone's got back into Pokemon cards. And it's sort of become a big thing. And I was like, right, I'm gonna raid the garage, raid the attic, and try and find them. Nowhere to be seen. And my mum claims that they were my responsibility when we moved up to Wales. Really, I think they didn't realise how emotionally invested I was, and potentially financially invested I probably could be in them. She threw them away. She'll never ever claim it because I, emotionally blackmail it on a day-to-day basis about how by throwing them away, she's throwing away my childhood. But it just means I now got to spend money to reclaim my childhood again. But yeah, I think for me, it's not really. Christmas isn't about the presents. I don't really like. Most of the presents I got was rugby related, like new rugby boots or like some new Under Armour stuff. I never really was one for like thinking of something in June and going, Mum, I want this, and pestering her for 6 months. I was never really that. Like I very much appreciate anything that I get given. Now, I think when you were sort of like a teenager, getting a Lynx Africa box set was the worst thing on the planet. Now, if I unwrap one of those, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah.
I love one of those.
Yeah.
Socks as well. I'm a huge fan of socks now.
Yeah, I'm massively into my socks.
Yeah, same.
Last year, Emily bought me these burger socks. It came in like it was like a Big Mac kind of case, and then you opened it up, and the socks were placed as almost it was a burger. So now I got burger socks, and I love them.
Like now as an adult, realising how expensive pants and socks are, I don't want to pay them. So at Christmas, my nan buys me a couple of pairs of pants. Lovely, happy days.
Yeah, I do enjoy socks. And I think when now we're earning, if there's anything I want throughout the year, I'll just go and buy it.
That's my issue.
It gets to Christmas, I'm like, I look at things and think I could leave that for Christmas, but also I just fucking want it, so I'm just going to buy it.
I'm a sort of person as well, like if I have my circle of things that I want, I will just use those things. I don't really use anything else. So as long as I've got those things, I'm fine. Whereas my brother will literally, my brother said my parents, because Mum normally gives us, can you give us like a breakdown of anything that you might want so we can go get it? And I think he sent her like a list of things that like cost up to 400 quid in total. And I'm there thinking, oh crap, I haven't put anything down. Can you get me a PS4 game maybe? Like that's the comparison that we're kind of like in our household.
Very much on your Chris is 29 years old. He shouldn't be giving you a list of £400.
No, I know exactly. But he's been the same. He's been the same ever since.
Grow up, my friend.
You're earning now, mate.
Yeah, use your Babcock money and buy yourself some presents.
He does. He buys himself out of a lot of stuff.
I think the biggest, like the worst present I can remember of recent memory was my auntie bought me 12 tins of rice pudding.
Right.
I don't even like rice pudding.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like the cheapy little stuff, which I don't mind. I wasn't going to eat it anyway. It wasn't but like I asked her, so when I unwrapped it, like, what is this? And she was like, well, I didn't want to get you. And I didn't want to be rude, but I just went, well, don't get me anything in the future then, because what is this? tins of rice pudding.
It was brilliant.
Yeah. I left it there. Actually, I left it at her house. I didn't take it back with me. But
Maybe that was her thinking. She thought, I'll buy it for myself. Sam will not like it and give it back to me.
yeah, brilliant.
Quality.
I'd rather she saved her money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But most things I'd appreciate, but that was just one step too far.
Yeah. There's been a good few fake smiles over the years, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Knitted jumpers. Nan's knitted jumpers. Oh, this is lovely, Nan. Yeah, I'll wear this.
Goes in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Right at the back.
Yeah, getting like men's clothes when you were 13. They're like, oh, you'll grow into it.
Yep.
No.
Extra large man's, and I'm 4'2" now. What do you expect to happen?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so I think maybe that last thing to finish it off then. What are you wanting then for Christmas? What are you hoping for to get?
Well, I've got mine. So.
Oh, yeah.
I got a PS5, but no, I didn't really. There's nothing I really want, really. To be fair.
No, my family hate me because they ask me all the time what I want for gifts. I don't know. I've always I would appreciate whatever you buy me, so buy me whatever, and I'll be surprised.
Unless it's rice pudding.
Exactly, unless it's rice pudding, exactly. So, but like this year, for me, like I mentioned, Pokemon cards. If someone just buys me a couple of Pokemon cards, I'll be well happy.
Yeah,
that's generally the only thing I'm sort of interested in.
I think generally men are harder to buy for. I think we found our getting the dad stuff compared to the mum. Mums were easy to get. We got them straight away, but I couldn't not think what to get for my dad.
No,
I've got my dad wine this year.
Exactly. Like, I mean, you just go to alcohol. It just seems to be like, our dad.
He's really into his red wine. So then all you got to do is just go and get like a bit more of a more expensive bottle, and then you go, there you go, Dad, and he loves it because he's like, I'll drink it at some point.
Nice. Yeah.
I got a drill for my birthday this year, and it sort of unlocked something in me in the fact that Ben's biggest like turn on is having a tool for something that's so overqualified for the task you use it for. You feel so manly.
Yeah.
I've got this massive like £100 drill. It's got a gear like stick on it. Like it's ridiculous. I'm going to use it for IKEA furniture.
Yeah, mate. I'm the same. I got a drill up there on top of the wardrobe, right? And there in the kitchen, there's this little panel that the cat keeps pulling back to go under the sink.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've got a screw, I've got the drill, I've drilled the panel in. And I feel like I've made the kitchen. I've done that whole kitchen. That kitchen is mine. That is my kitchen now.
Yeah. So like I think the only sort of thing that I wouldn't mind this year is like a hefty knife set.
Oh yes.
Yeah. See, I bought Emily for our anniversary. I bought her a knife set. And you could get like they're not that expensive. I went into the shop thinking, crap, I'm about to spend like 100 quid here. Yeah. But we went into like TK Maxx and like we found a set for like 30-40 quid. And like she's well happy with it. And I was like, there you go. Like you can get a good knife set.
Yeah. Chuck sent me a link for one. Actually, which looks like it's got like dragon scales on it.
Oh, nice.
I mean, that is sick.
Nice.
I'm going to use it to like cut me toast with, but I dragon scales on it.
Yeah, nice.
That's fucking sick doing it.
My life ambition is just to get tools which I will never use the full function of.
It looks fucking sick.
But I look sick using it.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. That's the goal. Right.
I think I'll just want clothes. To be honest, I'll be like, get me some like boxers, get me some stuff. Because like all of a sudden out of nowhere, I'm getting so many holes in my boxers now, and I have no idea why. Like it's almost like you just hit an age, and then you just find them way more. So if they can get me some boxers, I'll be well happy with that.
Right, let's wrap it up there. We will go over quick fire. Hey, wrap it up there. We'll make a special mention to cheese. We won't talk about cheese, but cheese is amazing. Cheese at Christmas is amazing. All the different flavours. Love cheese. And we will go over quick fire. Favourite Christmas song. Sam, go.
A toss up between Oh shit!
On the spot.
Another Day by E17.
Nice.
Boney M. Jesus. That one. And the bells are ringing out for Christmas. The
Nice.
Pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my top 3, I think.
Jamie, go.
Recently, I've got into listening to Michael Bublé's Christmas songs.
Yeah. Elite.
All-time classic, I'd most likely say, is Last Christmas.
Nice.
Oh wow.
All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, number 1 all the time, every year. Don't even care. No, don't even care. I will sing it all day long. I'll do the high notes, everything.
It's like, especially with like the children in school. So when the children are coming in, they have like half an hour. I will literally just put on Michael Bublé's Christmas album, and we will just sit there listening to that, and they will be like, "What is this?" I'll be like, "This is tunes right here."
Yeah.
Although
this year, special mention, and Sam's partner will like this too, Feliz Navidad. That is also an elite Christmas song.
We had to sing that. We had to practice that with the children last year for Christmas. They wanted us to like sing the whole entire song, and like I think about 2 weeks in, they just scrapped it because they realised like we weren't going to do it that well.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of Spanish Christmas tunes.
Oh yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Right. Thank you for that, boys. Thank you for watching. Hope everyone has a cracking Christmas. After a very shit year, this is a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your turkeys, enjoy your cheeses, enjoy your shit presents, and we will probably see you next year now.
Probably, yeah.
Goodbye.
Here's a goal.